and welcome back to my podcast. Do you know, I'm not even going to apologise for the fact it's been ages, it's just the way life has been. I'm just going to dive in and start because I have am I holding up four? Yes. 4 finished objects for you and 2 whips and a couple of things that have now come into my possession. So I shall start with one of the finished things. This is the Mary Rebecca cardigan. It's a knitting pattern by Ellen Mason and it's finished. I shared it in an almost finished state maybe 6 months ago. No, 8-9 months ago. And you know what? I hadn't made the sleeves long enough. It's knit sleeves up, body up. And I just miscalculated how long I wanted my sleeves to be. So I shared it with you a while back when the sleeves were this length, and I had a plan to just knit up that way an extra piece of sleeve and then sew it in, which is what I've done. So I only just did this the other week. I finished it in time to wear it on my birthday a couple of weeks ago, and I also wore it to a family wedding. I will try and pop I don't think I've got any proper photos of me finished wearing it. Me wearing it in its finished state, sort of, official model type photos. But I do have a couple of pictures of me at my cousin Georgina's wedding at the weekend, and I'll pop at least one of those up for you to see because it is lovely. I will try and stand a little, let you see. Here is the edge. You can see it's kind of a lacy Aran pattern going on here. Same on this side. The back is plain, there's nothing on the back. These are the decreases. Quite happy with how that turned out. I think it looks quite smooth around the shoulders. I chose simple buttons for it. Colour worked out just right. I really like the buttons. The wool cost me just a couple of quid because I got it in a charity shop way back. It was in 250 gram hanks or skeins. They were massive, they were about this size. And it worked out lovely, so I didn't pay for the wool. I think there were no tags or anything on it. I think it's Shetland wool. It feels like Shetland wool. I can't remember if it's Aran or DK. I think it's Aran. I think it is Aran weight, and I really like it. Anything else to say? It's fairly simple. It's the first time I have done. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, maybe could have done the underarm slightly better as this one. Yeah, this one's better. Just a tiny wee hole there. It's not too bad. Let's maybe not show that off. It's the first bottom up knitted thing that I have done. And it had this, it's a mix of cable and lace. Maybe will it show up better on this side? Yes. It's a mix of cable and lace. Yeah, here you see the cable going this way, coming out of this lace bit. And obviously I continued the lace, under the arms. Just because. I like it. I think it'll go with a lot of dresses I have for the sort of autumn, spring, even the winter, I guess, that I don't wear as often as I could because I didn't have anything to put on over them other than shawls, and you kind of need something a bit more substantial. So, yay. Really happy with it. Would recommend the pattern. I got it on Ravelry. I'm not sure if it's available elsewhere. I'll have a look, and all the details will be down in the notes. So if you want to know anything more about what I'm saying, links etc. should be, just hit the wee more button and you will see all the details. So item number 1, a win. The next 2 things are crocheted and they are super cute. Hello. So I have a baby alpaca and a mummy alpaca, and these guys are super fun. I not long finished these as well. They were a pattern by Lucy Collins, who has written the Crochet Harry Potter and Crochet Star Wars books. So she's a very well-known amigurumi designer. These guys were fun. I really enjoyed making them. I did all the legs on the little bits on this one on a train journey. I was going up to Inverness, so I did. That was really good for a train journey because you don't have to think too much. They're covered in fluff. I don't know why they're covered so much in, I don't know if it's dog hair or bits of yarn. I really don't know at this point. Sorry about that. You guys should have had a wee clean up before you were on camera, okay? They're sorry. They're sorry. But yay, I love their hair. Again, this was a charity shop. Actually, the wool itself, this is paint... Is it paint box yarns? No, the wool, the pink and the purple are actually from Tiger. They are 4-ply cotton from Tiger, but I got them in the charity shop. They still had their ball bands on. Unlike the hair on top, it is sock wool, and it was a partial ball, not a skein. It was definitely more of a commercial yarn, maybe something like Regia sock yarn, something like that. It's sock yarn, and I just liked it. And I thought that it would be a good one to just bring the two alpacas together and give them something in common. Oh, aren't they cute? No idea who I'm going to give them to. I just made them for funsies, and I enjoyed making them. I really like a wee amigurumi project now and again, and I like these guys. I hope you like them too. So there we are. The pattern was for a mummy, a daddy and a baby, but this is a wee single parent family. I've run out of colours that I'd like, really, more than anything else. I do. So we just have the two, little single parent family, and they're happy. Okay, my other crochet project is also amigurumi, and I'm going to hold it up this way first. This was a crochet pattern test, and look. I love it. Love it. This is a pattern by Making Polly, and it's called, I think it's called Love Diorama, something like that. I should have looked up the name first, but you can find it. I will link it below, obviously. And the pattern is available on Etsy and Ravelry, and I was fortunate to test this one, partially because when Polly of Making Polly posted a picture of her finished first one and asked on Instagram, should I write up the pattern in time for Valentine's Day, bearing in mind that Valentine's Day was about 7 days time. I was one of the main people that encouraged her and said, yeah, go for it. So then when she was needing testers, I very quickly jumped in and crocheted it up for her. I ran out of my main colour on the back, so technically this and this should all be in the one colour, but I just ran out. So it's 2 colours, but it will mostly be this way around, so that is okay. I have yet to add a little hang, just a wee piece of thread, hang this up, maybe from here, yeah, just back a wee bit, and that would keep this shaping. I guess if you hang it from here it's just going to pull out, isn't it? Hang it from here at the back. Ta-da! It's lovely. Haha, lovely. I do really like it. Pattern was very easy to follow. There were photos, and I believe there is now a video tutorial as well for it, so you can't go wrong. The letters are fairly simple, and they all kind of follow on from each other. Not so much the O, that's obviously quite unique. But once you've got the hang of making the different cylindrical shapes, it's nice and straightforward. And I used, again, charity shop yarn. This is a, what do you call it? It's one of the crochet boxes, subscription boxes. It's gone out of my head. Crochet something. It's a UK one, and I found it. It was a Christmas one. So the gold and all these 4 were part of a Christmas decoration set, and I got it in a charity shop with a few other bits and pieces, including some random new hooks, and the candle and everything was still in there. Somebody obviously just did not like their box. So an Aberdeen charity shop find. I remember finding it and being pretty happy. And this gold worked out really nicely, little gold edge on it. So I do recommend this pattern too. And there are other ones. This is very much Making Polly's style. So if you like this sort of thing, do have a wee look on Ravelry or on Etsy, and you'll see some of her other designs. They are very cute, and I like them a lot. Okay, I think I did count this as 2 finished objects. So the cardigan, the alpacas, and the love diorama. My 4 finished objects. Really happy with that. So I'll introduce myself now that I have shown off some finished things. For those of you who don't know, maybe you're tuning in for the first time, my name is Marta and I'm a crochet designer living on the sunny, it's fairly sunny today, east coast of Scotland, and I design mostly things like shawls and hats and socks. Socks are one of my favourite things to design. At the moment I am not working on any particular patterns, but I will be getting back into that very soon. So I've really been enjoying following other people's patterns, whether that's in crochet or knitting. My 2 whips that I'm about to show you are knitting. So I will share the one that I was showing you in my last podcast. It is a garment. It's going, ball of wool almost fell in my tea. It's going really well so far. Let's pull it out. Make sure there we go. Here. It will fit me. But yeah, it's getting pretty big. I am not too far off reaching the point where it's got I'll show you the photo in a minute. It's got a very long hem waistband on it. So this is, I'll hold it up again and show you again in a moment, but just to show you a picture of what it will look like. Ta-da! So you see what I mean? This bit here is going to be really long, so I don't have very much further to do. I'm probably about here. I don't have too much further to do. And it's called Tesoro, and it is a knitting pattern by Isabel Kramer. It's the first of her knitting patterns that I have followed, although I've been aware of her and her patterns for quite some time and wanted to make something. So it's raglan. Can you see it's top down. So these are increases in the yoke. Is it a yoke if it's a raglan? I guess not. Increases in the raglan. I quite like the way the colours have pooled. We've got a big dark blotch here. I quite like that. The only thing I did not realise, I bought this yarn in someone's D-stash. I've got another 2 balls to join. I did not realise that it was part of a fade. So when they were all balled up, they looked exactly the same, and it's not until I have started using them, and in particular I've got another skein downstairs which I've wound into a cake, and in that one you can see it's very much these colours. So you can see on this one, you can see where I changed, and I wish now that I had done a little bit of kind of roundabout to just blend that a wee bit more. It's a little bit of a line going across. I don't think I mind it too much, especially as you've got bits like this real yellow bit here. As the increases were happening, obviously it affected. Do you know what, I'm going to undo this one and you can get a better idea of how it's looking in the skein. Really, really nice yarn. I will tell you what it is in a moment. So yeah, this is how it's looking in skein. So even this one, this bit's going to be quite different. And I will be sure when I start on this skein to just blend that little bit and join the 2 slightly better. So the yarn, let's start with the yarn. It is Crafternoon Treats yarns. It looks like this. It's a UK based yarn company, and the colourway is Autumn Leaves. They all just say Autumn Leaves. They don't say anything about it being a fade. So it could, maybe it isn't a fade, maybe it's just a slight variation between the different batches, although batch numbers aren't mentioned anywhere. It may just be the nature of the hand-dyed yarn. I'm not complaining too much. I got it in a Yarn D stash. I think I paid £25 for the 4 skeins, so I have 4 skeins of this. And it is 100% fine merino with no nylon. It is non-superwash. Are we focusing? maybe just. There we go. So yeah, I like the yarn. It feels beautiful and soft. I don't think I have made a garment yet in non-super wash merino. And I'm liking it. It is merino, isn't it? Yes, it is merino. I'm really liking it. I'm going to add sleeves. The pattern, if we go back to the picture, the pattern calls for just a wee sort of cap. But it tells you if you have got to the end of your jumper that will take, you will need 25% more to do the sleeves. So if you've got to here, so basically if I get down to the bottom here and I have used less than 3 skeins, I will have enough to do full length sleeves because I have 4. So that is my plan. I'm going to get to the bottom and I should have, going from where I am at the minute, I have used, to here I've used 1.5 skeins. So I think it will be about 2.5 skeins for the whole body, which will give me plenty to do full length sleeves. And I am using, I think in my last podcast I showed these barber cords, which my mum brought me back from Stephen and Penelope, and I'm using them for the first time to keep my sleeves. Very nice. I was also able to use them to try on this garment when I got to the sleeve split. I was able to put the whole thing on barber cords rather than I think if you remember the yellow yoked knitting thing that I made, I think I had it on about 6 different sets of shorter circular needles so I could try it on. So it's really nice to have these barber cords, which you just put a DPN in. It slots into this little hole at the end, and you can just knit onto that and slide the stitches along, and then they're on that. And then when you want to take it off, you can just put a DPN in the other end and knit back onto your circulars or your DPNs if that's what you're going to use. I will probably use DPNs for the sleeves because I like DPNs more than I like circulars. I am using cubics. I'm using Knit Pro cubics, and I think it's a 3mm. I think the number has been wiped off, but I think it's a 3mm. And oh yeah, we can see 3mm. And I really like the Knit Pro cubics. These are my mum's. All my circulars are really my mum's, so I have borrowed them. Thank you, Mum, if you're watching. Okay, so this will be finished certainly for the autumn. This bit at the back is that's just me marking what was the front and the back, because this was the very first time that I had to do German short rows, because the back is significantly, it's about that much of a drop, higher than the front, and it's got short row shaping, and yeah, just for me to keep track of what was the front, what was the back. And I actually, do you know what I found the easiest to get that piece of the shaping done was to start on DPNs. So I had one set of DPNs for the sleeve, so basically from there to there. I had one DPN going across the back, or that's the front actually, across the front. I had the third one going across the top of the next sleeve, and the fourth one to go across the back. And that is how I managed to get that shaping done and not cry, because there were very nearly tears on this one. Just, I think I was learning a new technique as well for the raglan increases. That was a new technique to me too, so I was having to flip about and read what to do with that, and the whole thing really just used up an awful lot of brain power. So I'd already ripped it out twice, and I realised that starting on DPNs might be my way forward, especially as I prefer DPNs to circulars. And yes, that was a good plan. So here we are. Looking forward to this one, stepping on a bit. I haven't worked tickle. I haven't worked too much on it lately, because I realise I'm missing one of, I am on 3 whips, it's not just 2. I am jumping about that is a real tickle in my throat. I think I inhaled a piece of fibre. There, hopefully that is it. Yes, I realise I have all my projects sitting on top of a big tub, which is actually a whip. So I have 3 whips to show you. Let's do them in order then. So that jumper I've just shown you, the Tesoro by Isabel Kramer, that is my longest standing knitting whip. This one I started next, and I'm keeping it in a tub. And all my colours are in here. This one is my very first knitting test, or a piece of test knitting if you want. And it's a pattern by Callum. Here it is. It is the Peacock Shawl by Callum, who is CS Knits. I saw the shawl in person at the Scottish Wool Producers Showcase, and Callum was on the lookout for testers. And having conquered German short rows on that yellow jumper I've just shown you, I decided to give this a go. So it's sitting just on top of this because I need multiple colours. And it's on a circular. I don't know, I can't quite show you the whole thing, but make sure I show you the right way around. Here we are. Here are my first 2 peacock feathers. Aren't they lovely? Really chuffed with them. And it's going to work out really nicely. I'm going to actually pick up the pattern again and show you another photo, because in that picture on the front it is all wrapped up and you can't see it very well. Here is a picture. There. Can you see? It's got these beautiful peacock feathers going all the way round. It's semicircular and it's knitted. It's knitted in German short rows. So we've got this sort of shape going on already. Whereas at the other end, at the end that would be at the back of your neck, it's only this thin. Now I have chopped a whole load of ends, which I'm pattern testing, so obviously I'm spotting things in the pattern. I don't think they should all have been chopped. I think you can just carry on. So don't let all these ends put you off. I think that at least half, if not all of them, could actually have been prevented. So that'll be good. Obviously you've got a few ends. I haven't sewn these ones in on the back of this peacock feather, but I've sewn these ones in on the back of that peacock feather, and because it's worked in, is it reverse stockinette stitch? Is that what you call it? Garter stitch? Garter stitch. It's garter stitch. So it's very easy to just weave these ends in, not a problem. But yes, here are those 2 feathers. Now this one I am only working on if I have real peace and quiet, because it's things like knit 30 stitches, do a double stitch, which is your German short row stitch, and then turn, and then do 15, and then do that again and turn. So I'm needing to kind of count in my head, keep track of where I'm at. So I tend to only work on this if I have peace and quiet. So slightly slower progress than I would have liked on that one, but I will show you the yarns. So I dived into my mum's stash and I found that she had loads of balls of this. Is that shining up properly? It is. Oh, that's upside down. Is that better? There we go. It's called Guinco, and it is, I think it's Italian yarn. Could be wrong. I had thought it was Italian, but I could be wrong. It's merino. It's 100% merino. I know my mum got it on eBay, and I know she has about 11 balls. I think I only need about 9. So I'm just keeping them all in here. We've got this one. I'm not sure what this kind is. I have lost its ball band. I know this one is Jenny Watson. I can just feel that that is Jenny Watson. I love Jenny Watson's yarn, and so is this one. They feel very Jenny Watson-ish. So is this one. So these three are Jenny Watson Merinos. I don't know if I chucked the ball bands in here or if they are elsewhere. I don't seem to have. But I do know that they are Jenny Watson. Ah, here's a ball band. There we go. From my mum's stash. I really like working with this yarn. I've made quite a few things in it. The cardigan I made last year, the one whose name I've forgotten. Oh, it wasn't a cardigan, it was a jumper. It was from Murit magazine, and it was that one that had the loops that loop into each other and kind of look like it was some sort of Aran cabling. That was me, because this is actually left over from my stash. This is the only one which is mine. The rest of them are all from my mum, so thank you, Mum, for letting me stash dive. And I am enjoying working on that one for Callum. I believe he's still looking for testers, if you're interested. I would recommend it. I think it's a really unique looking piece of knitwear. And the other thing I can't even show you because it's not in that pattern is that you can actually make it. There's two ways of making it. You can either make it with or without these little pipelines, for want of a better word. Can't think what the word I'm looking for is, but to put a cane in so that you can have it up like a peacock. And you can actually, you know, if you were, I don't know, a fancy party or something, a red carpet thing, you could have it up like that, which is super cool. Or you can just wear it down and tie it around your neck. Both ways, lovely. I really like it. Okay, final whip. And the last one I started, it's in a sock bag, but it's not actually socks. It is the Shetland Wool Week hat, which is called the All Our Toorie. And I have gone for a vintage look. Isn't it cool? I'm really happy with these colours. They're slightly clashy. They're definitely a bit retro. Haven't sewn in a single end, but I'm loving it. Here is the pattern. I mean, this one's a little bit retro looking. Mine is going to be even more so. And it's quite a different look actually for the Shetland Wool Week hats, most of which I have made over the years. And this one is quite a departure from the norm, and I really like it. And I like the different style. I like the fact it's got this little knot thing you could add to the top of it. And the brim is just two colours. I think quite a lot of the time it's got this. The Shetland Wool Week hats have a sort of two colour rib thing going on, but this one's just plain. I got the yellow in the Woolly Brew in Pitt and Weem. I managed to run in, choose a yellow. I knew I was going to go for a retro look, and I I grabbed the yellow. I thought nothing says retro more than a nice sunny yellow. And I just love this. I really, really like the combo. My only ever so slight error is I muddled up my darkest green and my middle green. These two should have been the other way around. I wasn't quite paying attention. But I'm okay with it. I'm not going to unpick. It's okay. It's a bit blurry in the middle, which I think it always would have been. But you maybe can't quite see, but this colour here is slightly different from this colour here. There's not much in it. But that is my only ever so slight regret. But I think going back here, I think it works. Yeah, I like it. So I'm using some from, apart from that ball of yellow which I bought, I'm using everything from Stash, and it's a mix of Jameson's. The yellow was a Jameson's, and I think this one here, my bright turquoisey colour, this was the other one, whose name I can't remember. The other main Shetland one. The one that's mostly got red and white on the ball band. You know the one. Jameson and Smith then. Yes, this one's just Jameson's. I think this one's Jameson and Smith. And I think apart from that one, I believe they are all actually Jameson's. This one. So I think I haven't got to the decreases yet, but I think there will be more of these in my future. It's a fun pattern. It's pretty quick to memorize. It's an 18 stitch repeat, and it's grown up nicely. I'll just deal with these ends. I've cut the ends a few times when I didn't need to. For example, going from, like when I finished this colour, I cut the end just for 3 rounds, and I could have just carried that up. So there are a few places where I've cut ends and I didn't need to. Just wasn't paying attention. In fact, as soon as I snipped them, I'm going, no, didn't mean to do that. However, it's Shetland wool, and I don't know about you, but when I'm sewing in ends on Shetland wool, I just knot them in a reef knot and then take one that way, and I don't even go back on them because it's Shetland wool. The toothiness of it really catches. I maybe go for about inch and a half, and just go split through the garter stitch bumps on the back, just one way. And in the Shetland wool, with the wear and things, especially if it's a hat or if it's socks or something, that very quickly just all catches and fuzzes in together, and everything is happy and good. There we are. So I have 2 things to show you, and they are both gifted to me. This was a gift from Julia, and she bought it at the Scottish Wool Producers Showcase for me, and it's from Calloch Chic Ellen, and it's her little pyramid bag. Just to put, you could put scissors, you could put a tiny project in here. If you had a really small project, you could put it in there. You could put things like I like to keep hand cream in my bags, so I could put hand cream, maybe my wee tin with stitch markers and needles for the ends, tape measure if I wanted. So I haven't actually used it yet. I was waiting to show it off on this occasion. Let's show you the logo the right way up. Here we are. It's made of Harris tweed, and I do actually have a project bag in this same colourway. So I'm really happy to receive this one. Thank you very much, Julia. That was super kind of you. And speaking of Harris and Lewis, I am off to visit there in the next few weeks. So I look forward to sharing any yarn-related tales from that. Might be visiting some of the tweed factories, that kind of thing, tweed outlets. Looking forward to that, looking forward to the beaches. I haven't been before, so I'm just really happy about that. And the final thing is another birthday present. Oh, my dogs are barking downstairs. Hopefully the sound isn't going to catch them. Final thing, 52 weeks of scrap yarn. And this is the new book by Lane Magazine, and it's fab. I have the hardback edition, so thank you to Gemma for passing this one on to me. I am really, really happy. I was so chuffed to get it, and I will do a quick, let's see, a very quick, if I can. It's harder than quick flick. So many beautiful projects, and I should have bookmarked my favourite. Let's see if I can flick for you, because I have a definite favourite. And actually I knew who the designer was before I even had to go and check it. Look at these, a mix of crochet and knitting. It is Jen Yard, who is Everything Shapes Us on Instagram. It is very much her style, and I just love these. So may well be my first project. It's just the epitome of a scrappy yarn project, and I love the fact that if you look, the granny squares are even different. This one is two-tone, three-tone, whatever, and this one is solid, and yeah, I just love them. Absolutely love them. I did actually submit a design of my own to this publication, and they were very lovely. They sent me a sweet reply saying, thank you, we liked your design, and they were overwhelmed with entries for this one. So I'm just seeing what's in it. I'm blown away. Definitely go, if you like scrappy projects, which I very much do, go and track down a copy. Here's a knitted one. So it's a mix of knitting and crochet, and it's just fab. Oh, the pup is howling downstairs. It's the end of the world. There, I could sit and just gaze at this all day. But I think that's him saying, time up. You've had a good podcast time. You've shown them all the things. That will do. So I think I'll leave it there. I have shown you all the things, and let me know what you've been working on. If you've been working on something as you've been watching along, listening along, let me know what that is. I'd love to know. So see you next time. I'm not going to promise when that might be. Sometime in the future. I do love podcasting, so thank you if you join me again today, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.